Today, we will continue with the second part of our countdown of the top 10 benefits of regularly praying in your spirit language. If you've been following this series and applying the wisdom of God to your life, the miracle of transformation is being unlocked and engaged in your life. But don't stop now. There is so much more that God has for you as you engage the transformation process of the believer. Welcome to HeavenCulture. It's so good to have you here, where our objective is to transform believers into kingdom citizens that think, talk, and act like Jesus, so that we can properly represent heaven while living right here on earth. Well, let's get into this. Yesterday, we began the discussion about the top 10 benefits of praying in your spirit language and covered numbers 10 through 6. Because the final 5 are so important, today we will only deal with points 4 and 5. The top 10 benefits of praying in your spirit language. Number 5, praying in your spirit language enables you to speak directly to God concerning the secret things relating to your life. 1 Corinthians 14:2. For he that speaks in an unknown tongue speaks not unto men, but unto God. For no man understands him, but in the Spirit he speaks mysteries. When you pray in your spirit language, you are not speaking to men, but rather directly to God. Therefore, no one understands you. In fact, in most cases, you don't even understand yourself. The reason for this is that your spirit language does not originate in the mental or intellectual realm, but rather in the spiritual dimension of your born-again spirit. Therefore, it makes no sense to your mind. It just seems like nonsense. For this reason, believers must learn to turn off their heads. They must disconnect their tongue from their mental faculty and connect it to their spiritual faculty instead. It is like throwing a switch, but once you gain experience, it becomes easy to go back and forth between English or your native language and tongues, that is your spirit language. God, in his infinite wisdom, knew that we needed a language that would bypass our mind. Our mind is very limited and not privy to the mysteries of God. Therefore, it is incapable of being the source of our prayers. This is where praying in the spirit language comes to our rescue, because we are able to pray perfect prayers directly to the Father without the limitations of the mind or the vocabulary. Another benefit of your spirit language is that the devil has no idea what you're saying. It's like speaking in an encrypted code that no one can intercept. If we had to speak in English, the devil would be able to intercept the mysteries of God and would be able to fight you much more easily. But because you are speaking in the encryption of your spirit language, you are able to build momentum by speaking the mysteries of God concerning your life. This confidentiality protects the mysteries and purposes of God concerning your life from being prematurely disclosed and exposed to the plots of the enemy. Number 4, praying in your spirit language enables you to unlock the mysteries of God concerning your life. 1 Corinthians 2:7 through 10 and 12. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, which God has hidden, predetermining it before the world for our glory, which none of the rulers of this world knew. For if they had known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. But as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man, the things which God has prepared for those who love him. But God has revealed them to us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of God. But we have not received the spirit of the world, but the Spirit from God, so that we might know the things that are freely given to us by God. God never creates something or someone without a purpose. Now that's very critical for you to get. Therefore, your purpose was determined in God long before you were ever born. However, we come into this world without clear instructions as to what God's purpose is for our lives. We receive clues based upon our talents and abilities and natural proclivities. But this does not give you a clear understanding of God's purpose for your life. At best, it only gives you a clue. Nevertheless, our purpose remains a mystery that is hidden in God. For this reason, so many believers live and die never tapping into, let alone walking out, their God-given purpose. There are certain things that we will never walk in unless God unveils his mysteries to us. These things we will never walk in unless we get revelation from heaven that reveals those mysteries. But how does one tap into the revelation knowledge of God? Well, this type of knowledge is only gained by the Spirit through the faculty or part of our spirit known as intuition. In this part of the Spirit, we receive revelation knowledge that is beyond our mental faculties and powers of intellect. Proverbs 25:2 in the God's Word translation. It is the glory of God to hide things, but the glory of kings to investigate them. When we ascend into the heavenly realm by praying in our spirit language, we position ourselves in the realm where both the mysteries and the revelations are located. But even then, God does not show us everything the first time we ascend into this realm. God requires us to investigate things with persistence and consistency in prayer. But as we pray in the Spirit, day after day after day, a picture begins to take shape. It is as if we were putting together a giant puzzle. As we continue to pray in the Spirit language, pieces of the puzzle begin to come together. Then, once the entire mystery has been prayed through and all the pieces come together, God will show you by revelation a part of his plan for your life. But this revelation comes as a result of praying in your spirit language. The Apostle Paul was responsible for writing roughly 2/3 of the New Testament. How is it that he was able to get more revelation than any other apostle, even those who walked with Jesus for 3.5 years? How is it that he was able to access so much revelation knowledge? Certainly there was a calling on his life to accomplish all of this, but make no mistake about it, it did not just fall into his lap. He had to labor in grace to get what he got. This opens up a very clear principle that we must get. 1 Corinthians 15:10. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace toward me was not in vain. On the contrary, I worked harder than any of them, though it was not I, but the grace of God that is with me. Part of the working harder than any of them involved his prayer life. In fact, he stated in 1 Corinthians 14:18 that he prayed in his spirit language more than all of the Corinthian believers. It was this ascending into the realm of the spirit constantly that made him able to get the abundance of revelation that he received and to eventually complete his course and destiny. Do you want to complete your course and do everything that God has assigned for you to do? Then you must give yourself to praying in your spirit language often and regularly. Beloved, you have no idea how much religion has stolen from you and I by either saying that your spirit language has passed away or failing to emphasize its importance and train us in the power that it unleashes. This is because religion always seeks to control you. It seeks to confine you. It seeks to hinder you from entering into the promises of God. I have made up my mind that I will never again do church as usual, nor will I allow religion to confine me. So I encourage you, throw off the restraints of religion and believe the Bible and embrace God's kingdom transformation for your life. Well, if this has blessed you, and I pray that it has, please click the like button and give it a thumbs up. Also, please post your comments and questions in the comments section below. And if you haven't done so already, please click the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be a part of all of our kingdom conversations. It would be my absolute honor to have you as a part of this channel. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to continuing this journey with you.